Phew.
Is it safe to breathe anymore? Crowded public places, global pandemics, and news reports of potential new strains of bacteria and viruses make you wonder, what if there was a germ-killing nasal spray that acted almost like hand sanitizer for your nose? There is. It's called Sinofresh Homeopathic Nasal Spray, and it's a proven germ killer. Sinofresh is a revolutionary doctor-recommended nasal spray that kills a broad spectrum of viruses, bacteria, molds, and fungi on contact in your nose. Sinofresh causes no drug interactions, no loss of smell, no rebound congestion, contains no alcohol, is non-habit forming, and is safe for daily use. Sinofresh must be a part of your family survival plan. Go to GCNlive.com now and click on the Sinofresh banner. The first 1,000 customers to click on the Sinofresh banner and purchase Sinofresh Antiseptic Nasal Spray are instantly registered to win a free 24-bottle case. Go to GCNlive.com and click on Sinofresh. Breathe free, breathe safe. Use Sinofresh. It works.
Well, the IMF has publicly announced what we told you in December they were going to do. They are going to have every Western government pay masses of money to them to openly set up world government and force carbon taxes on everyone. Completely lawless and criminal. Continuing with your phone calls, we're going to get into that in the next hour with Max Keiser. Dustin in Illinois, you're on the air.
Hey, Alex, I just want to say you're doing a great job. Your knowledge is just unbelievable. I refer to you as America's alarm clock. You're constantly waking people up. Keep up the good work and keep kicking ass. And I also wanted to know what your thoughts was of the Discovery Channel. They're having the underwear bomber premiering this Thursday.
Well, I don't really pay attention, but the underwear bomber was admittedly staged by the government. They let him on the plane, protected him, mainstream news, to sell the body scanners in the police state because their target's the American people. They know we fly. They beta test their control surveillance grid when people are in the airports. Now they're going to move it to mobile brain scanning and naked body scanning systems. We've got video from Homeland Security coming up later in the broadcast and how it ties into dissenters to be detained as enemy belligerents. New bill. Thank you for the call. John McCain to completely get rid of any Bill of Rights, any habeas corpus, anything. And it says you can be interrogated. Oh, heaven help us. Monica in New York, you're on the air.
Hello, Alex. Yes, you are unbelievably a watchman on the wall. And I say that not as just to affirm you, but God has equipped you to be able to do this, I'm telling you. And we see that. And this morning, I was just unctioned to it was like really hard to press through to pray. And you will be lifted up in prayer. And not only that, and when you first started the program, how it was like birthing something. I think people in the spirit need to realize that they have been created to operate a certain way.
And there is an evil will trying to force us to not resist it. It's a spirit. And I mean, that's what it is, forcing down upon us to go along with the system, to be evil, to be worldly, to not have courage. And I feel like today I have passed over another line. This has happened to me before in a progression of discernment and awakening. And the reason I'm waking up and even more, and other people are as well, is because the enemy is rising right now. And God is trying to lift you up, the listeners, against this enemy. And I just realized the position I'm in. And I just say, why, God? Why is the world this way? Why do I understand this and a lot of other people can't, if they could just know what I know?
Yeah. And we don't need to know, not all people need to know all specific things. I really believe in the spiritual. You're dealing with a dimension where you're operating and it's an all-knowing through, you know what I mean? It's like God can download it to you. And there is no fear in it when God's there.
Well, that's what it's like, though. I mean, I knew they were going to stage an attack in Austin. I knew they were going to stage attacks and blame it on 9/11 truth. And I said it'll happen in the next month, and it happened. And then I know pretty much what they're going to do next. I'm going to try to really formulate my thoughts and cover it in the last hour. It's like watching a train coming. You see it coming, and you're saying, look, there's the train, and people don't see it, and it runs them over. How can they not see it?
It's spiritual psychology is what it is. You have to understand and see a pattern in it in order for you to operate the way you do in the very thing that God allows you to do it and equips you. You have to see it that way, and it's a pattern, and it's almost like you could set up a grid and see it and point by point pick out.
Absolutely, and that's what the globalists use their computers to do, and also their master gives them the same discernment.
America's #1 source for independent talk radio for over a decade. We are the GCN Radio Network.
Hundreds of nations have fallen to tyranny in the last century alone. This is our last chance to not relive history.
As they're finishing off this agenda, they'll be pulling the rug from underneath Americans at home.
They have tremendous influence on our president and Congress, and they really are calling the shots.
I think it's incumbent upon all of us as American citizens to pay attention.
Fall of the Republic identifies the enemies of our nation, the criminal offshore cartel, hell-bent on destroying sovereignty, and on its ashes constructing world government.
Tim Geithner, Bernanke, they're arsonists. They're asking for more matches. And the Congress is saying, who do we make the check out to?
Today, it seems like nobody does care. And right now in Washington, D.C., we have seen a fall of the Republic.
Get your copy of Fall of the Republic on DVD at Infowars.com or watch it online right now in super high quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
It is Monday, March 8, 2010. For the next 60 minutes, joining us from France is Max Keiser of the Keiser Report on RT. He's also TV shows at BBC, Press TV, you name it. The inventor of the Hollywood Stock Exchange. A lot of his technologies are used on major stock exchanges today. I want to get into the state of the world economy with him, but I also want to talk about the Joe Stack attack. A lot of evidence that was staged. The Pentagon attack. We saw preconditioning that 9/11 truthers were going to get violent before anyone had ever gotten violent. And I saw the media putting that out, and I said, look, they're about to stage something. And now it turns out his parents warned. Turns out he's got government connections with weird government contracts and communications with the Pentagon. Same thing with Joe Stack. But regardless, they are really demonizing everybody right now. The Southern Poverty Law Center is attacking me every day. They're demonizing the Tea Parties. They're going after everybody. So we'll talk about that with Max Keiser as well, because the people are really starting to wake up. The banks control both parties. The good news is, I want to cover first, Iceland voters reject repayment plan and how that dovetails with this AP article. IMF suggests how to raise climate change funds, pay money directly to them. So we'll talk about the open expansion of this private banking world government with Max Keiser. Max Keiser, good to have you here with us.
Hey, Alex, good to be back with you.
So much is going on. Let's talk in general terms first about the world economy. More and more analysts are saying, look, we got 22% unemployment. We're really in a depression. Things are getting worse, not better. Where is this going?
Yeah, well, as we've talked about before, it's a global phenomenon, what I call the global insurrection against banking occupation. We're seeing it in Iceland. We're seeing it in Greece. We're seeing it in countries all over the world. It started in 2007 with the beginning of the credit crunch. We first started to understand what was happening with the credit crunch. Remember, over there at Citigroup, the CEO of Citigroup, Chuck Prince, said as long as the music keeps going, we're going to keep dancing. What he meant by that was as long as the Fed was going to continue to print money in ways that we could borrow and securitize our way into these phony profits, we're going to